Good morning. Welcome back to the Retirement Report. I'm Hank Parrott, your host. All right, we've been talking about planning for retirement again, right? Options for retirement plan savings after employment. So this one, you leave employment. And this is one of the areas, by the way, when you leave your employer, when you retire, or sometimes you may even just separate from one employer and you're going to work for another. And now you have choices to make with regard to those retirement plans, right? If you left an employer, let's say you have a 401k as an example, maybe a thrift savings plan, you're changing employers. Now, what do you do with that plan? Well, one of the options is you can leave your money in the plan. Okay, and this could come into play, by the way, if you retire early, if you're one of those fortunate enough and you've planned well and you've got, you're going to have, I'll give you an example. Maybe you're a federal employee. Maybe you're also military. Maybe you've got a federal pension. Maybe you're going to have a military pension. You're going to have Social Security. Or you might get a Social Security supplement if you're able to retire at a particular age. Many federal employees, you're able to retire out in your mid to late 70s and have a Social Security supplement to take you to age 62 as an example. So there are a lot of different options available to you as well. So when you're looking at that TSP, or if you're looking at the retirement plan, if you're going to retire early and you've saved well and you're able to do that, well, one of the things to look at is, should I leave my money in the plan? Well, income needs, if you're going to need income from that, let's say in those early years, this is one of those areas to understand the upside, for instance, of leaving some money, at least some money in your old plan. Again, this is if you retire, is that you at age 55, you can then take income or lump sums even from that without a tax penalty. For IRAs, it's 59.5. So if you're retiring early, you may have a gap there of 2 to 5 years that you need to fill for income, and we don't want to have tax penalties, so we don't want to necessarily roll it all out. We may want to leave some in there for that purpose. Now, there are other ways that we can also accomplish this goal, even with IRAs. There's an Internal Revenue Code called 72T, and in that, basically, in that Internal Revenue Code 72T, there's ways that we can also provide penalty-free income. It's still going to be taxable, right? Unless it's coming out of a Roth, of course. And this is something else to understand is that, again, this is how all these rules come in, right? A lot of people come in and they say, well, I put money in a Roth, so therefore it's going to be tax-free when I take it out. Yes, that's true. There are certain rules. You got to leave it in there for 5 years to at least get the earnings out. Now, you can take principal out sooner. However, if you take money out of a Roth before age 59.5, guess what? Yeah, it's still subject to that tax penalty. You may not have to pay tax on it if it's just principal you're taking out, since you've already paid tax on it. But you're still going to pay a 10% penalty because it was in a retirement account and you're taking it out of that. Keep that in mind too. If you had a Roth 401k, okay, goes back to what we were saying about leaving some money in there for income. So there are ways, important things to understand when it comes to putting your strategies together and understanding how these plans work. Taking a lump sum distribution, again, that's one thing you can do. Again, that's if you needed a chunk of money to do something with, but understand again the tax implications of that. So often I've seen people that have come in, taken a chunk of money out to pay off a mortgage or something like that, and ended up paying taxes and penalties, and it was awful, right? Because they thought it was so important to get that mortgage paid off. It's not that important, and not when you look at the tax costs and the potential penalties and stuff you might have to pay. There are ways you can still accomplish the goal just by being a little more patient, and in doing so, you don't give the IRS so much money. Who wants them as a beneficiary, right? Roll it into an IRA. This is one of the things within a 401k. The one downside of 401ks, one of the biggest downsides, in fact, is that they have very limited retirement investment options. So this goes with, think of your 401k. You've just got this small little universe, maybe, I don't know, it could be from 10 to 50 different mutual funds available out of thousands of options that are available to you in an IRA. All right, so this is one of the reasons not keeping money in a 401k can make a lot of sense. It gives you more investment options. Now, if you're still worried, you can even, by the way, at 59.5, you can do what's called an in-service transfer, and this can allow you to move a chunk of money and be able to invest it more wisely while still keeping your 401k, still being able to contribute, because what are some of the advantages of that 401k? One, you can put a lot more money. Right? So if you're saving for retirement and you're looking at putting money into an IRA, if you're under 50, it's about $5,000, over 50, $6,000. But in your 401k, you can put $18,000 or even $24,000 if you're over 50 per year. So you can put a lot more money into that 401k. Another advantage, if you get matching in your retirement account. So if you've got, whether it's 401k again or any 403b, whatever it might be, TSP plan, definitely on your TSPs, non-military for the federal employees, the TSP, you get matching, right? You can get up to 5%. That's free money. You want to take the free money, okay? And then learn how to do asset allocation. One of the things we do with the retirement income analysis, the comprehensive planning, is we show you how to do asset allocation in your company plan. We look at what your options are and we help you pick the best ones. And then in other monies you may have outside of that plan, we show how we can integrate those and make it a really good portfolio overall. In fact, again, and by the way, taking periodic distributions, purchasing an annuity, TSP, you have the option of even converting to an annuity so you can have guaranteed income for life. You can kind of create almost your own, it's almost like having a private pension, right? You can almost create your own, and you're going to create your own income stream to help make sure that you don't have to touch your money. Now you have Social Security and you have a pension. If you don't have a pension, maybe you get an annuity and you have guaranteed income for life that way. And that annuity can provide you not only guaranteed income for life for one person, but guaranteed income for life for a couple. So you can have it on 2 lives. And if there's any money left, there's even ways where you can make sure that any money left that you haven't used, unlike say a pension. With a pension, when you die, and if you got a survivor benefit to your spouse, there's that. But when both of you are gone, that money is gone, right? Well, with an annuity, that's not necessarily the case. Okay, you can get annuities that will allow you to have your life covered, your spouse's life covered, and if there's any money left, it can still go on to your beneficiaries, to your children. All right, so timing of Social Security benefits is another. By the way, when we're going back, let me do this one more time. Understanding how these work, the strategies, there's so much involved with tax planning, right? With investment planning, with, you know, do you have a plan to stay ahead of inflation? This is one of those that you put all your money in the safest of places because you're worried about losing, but in reality, the purchasing power is dropping, right? Because costs are going up so much. So having a plan is so important, and I'm gonna make it easy for the first 10 callers anyway. To my office, 615-376-5325. If you're one of the first 10 callers, Tess is standing by to get your information, and we'll do a free retirement income analysis for you. So there it is, 615-376-5325. All the things I've been talking about and more. We got more to cover, and it's all going to be something you can get for yourself, individual, personalized, free retirement income analysis, comprehensive financial plan. And for those that come in to see me, guess what? I'm also going to give you a copy of my book, 7 Steps to Financial Freedom in Retirement. All right. Timing of Social Security benefits. This is one of those areas that so many questions, right? When should I start taking my Social Security benefits? Do I take it early, when I'm the earliest being age 62? What about full retirement age? That could be, depending on your, your age right now, that could be anywhere from 66 to 67. All right, deferred retirement age, the ability to put it off until age 70. I mean, what's the benefit? Well, for every year, once you reach, full retirement age at 66 to 67, for every year you delay taking benefits, you're going to get an 8% increase in how much benefit you're going to receive. Do you know what your break-even point is? This is one of those areas that we want to talk about as well. So in fact, benefits adjust based on when you begin taking them. So that's our next slide. Early retirement lowers benefit payments. That means, so if you start taking at 62, yes, you're going to get a much lower amount than if you wait until full retirement age. Deferred retirement increases your benefit payments, and it can be by as much as 8% a year for every year you wait, and it's prorated on a monthly basis. So let's say you say, well, I'm going to wait, and then something happens, life happens, and maybe, maybe you need the money. Maybe there's something that happens in life that, well, there's a number of things that can happen. We'll just say, some people, they come in and they say, I've got a lot of illnesses, I've got, health issues, and for me, postponing doesn't make any sense. What is the break-even point for you? Do you know what that is between starting early, 62, or say even at 66 versus 70? We do those comparisons as a part of the comprehensive plan, so we can show you what the break-even point is for you specifically and help you make that decision based on your your own health, your family history. Do people live longer? I've got people coming in all the time, moms in her 90s, kind of stuff. My expectation is that I'm going to be living, potentially at least into my mid to late 80s or 90s even. Planning for that is important. 40% of people plan to take their benefits before age 64, right? Have they really thought about that? And this is the other part. It's not just an arbitrary thing. You don't just say, oh yeah, I'm just going to do this because maybe I'm worried they're not going to be there, whatever. No. Let's make sure that you have a plan so when you take those benefits, you're going to get the maximum benefit out of that over your lifetime. 43% of people plan to take benefits between the ages of 64 and 69, and this was the shocker, right? Only 6% plan to take benefits by age 70. Now there is no later, by the way, okay? Age 70 is the longest you would want to postpone it because you're not going to get any benefit for waiting past that. It doesn't continue to go up. So age 70 would be the longest that you would want to put off taking Social Security. But like I said, depending on your situation, it may prove to be, I do have many clients, in fact, that have made that election because they're living longer, all right? And they recognize that, and they are thinking they're going to live much longer. Their break-even point might be in their late 70s, and they're saying, well, I'm going to live 10 years past that. If I delay, I'm going to get so much more money over my lifetime. So do you know what your break-even is? And have you considered your own longevity and what that's going to look like with regard to those benefits? Familiarize yourself with Medicare benefits. Healthcare costs in retirement is another big risk. This can cost a tremendous amount of money, and it's so important to understand how Medicare works. I've done whole shows just on Medicare alone. I'm going to briefly kind of give you a little recap of some of that, but first we got to take a break. When we come back, I'm going to jump into Medicare. I'm going to talk to you about traditional Medicare, if you will, original Medicare and Medicare Advantage, what these differences are, what supplement plans are for, and all that. All right, we'll get into that when we come back. Join us here. We'll be right back on the Retirement Report.